Welcome to Reality, Revelation, Restoration. I'm Chris Gray. Today, I'm going to talk about spiritual makeover from the inside out instead of from the outside in, because that's what they're going to do to you, the world, and the culture, and your parents. They're gonna destroy your innocence. They can't do it though, but they're gonna try through various devious, unscrupulous methods. You gotta watch out for your loved ones. Your so-called loved ones don't have your best interests in mind. But there's perfection inside your mind. It's a silent witness. It's always going to be there waiting for you when you decide. This message, before I begin, this message doesn't pertain to everybody. It only pertains to people that lie to themselves and have become very sick, very angry, very anxious, and under this, you're going to have to, when you lie to yourself, you're going to have to cover that up too. You're going to have to find a supporting cast. That can be doctors, lawyers, drugs, alcohol, food. You need the alcohol you don't need, the drugs you don't need, and the lawyers you don't need. Because if you live right, the way the perfect guide in your mind is going to show you how to do without any effort. Least amount of effort possible. You're going to overcome any addictions. First of all, you got to come out of the world. This is a process in itself. And the world is a lie. It's a structure built by con artists, and it's a game. It's a joke, and people fall for it and they pump themselves up, and they're pumped up and polluted on the system. Doesn't matter what they appear. The appearance of good is. It's not good. No matter who it is. It's worthless. Their money it's a joke. It's a game of beat the clock and chasing the carrot and the stick. And it leads to disillusionment and madness. Insanity is the byproduct of conforming to the world's authorities, the worldly authorities. You conformed. Most people conform. Because the reason why they conform is because they're pressured. They want to be themselves. They want to be brave and do the things. They want to be themselves. But they know that their self is too bright and A wicked world can't handle it. So what they do is they want to belong. They want to belong to the. They want to have friends and belong to this system. There's a plane. There's a few planes flying over here and there. Um, they want to belong. So what they do is they give up. They let themselves go to hell is what they do, because the pain, they're appeasers is what they are. They appease. They see that the world is closing in on them to conform. And so what they do is they realize that I can't fight all this. I want to remain true to myself. I don't want to take drugs. I don't want to lie to myself. I don't want to be weak. But if I don't, how can I fight myself? All these people that are telling me to do this and telling me to do that. And so they give up. They just give up, and it's like an erotic fantasy of being taken over by it's a feminine thing. And it's an erotic fantasy of submission. In the world, this is what the world does to people. It's the boyfriends and the girlfriends of a demoralized, depraved system that doesn't work. Now, capitalism is, in itself, it's dumb. But but it's better than communism. You see, capitalism can only work if everyone's honest, or most people are honest. And the system that we live in was originally set up to be that way. It was what they did was they chipped the left, chipped away at the system with their whiny weakness. They found the right people to get into the right places, to undermine honesty. So what they did, they first of all, they caused the population to become lie to them. They caused it. This is a whole network of liars here, and it's all lying to yourself. This is what the basic problem is. They took the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America out of the school. They took the Ten Commandments out of the school. They took prayer out of the school. There used to be blue laws that you couldn't, that people were supposed to stop working on Sunday. No alcohol. What they did was they changed history and turned it into her story. That's what happened. And then they taught that her story in school, in the schools. And they demoralized the children and told them it's okay to do what isn't okay, what's going to come back to haunt you later. They told you, you see, if you're a bright, honest spirit, these people, they're going to bully you because they're bullies, you see. So, and if you're a young, innocent person, or you don't have any physical prowess to be able to beat the bully, to be able to intimidate the bully out of, they can go find someone else to pick on. Or you beat the bully and teach him a lesson. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I do know that it's morals and principles that keep people in line. And there's an inner light that's got, it has a different story than the lion ego. The ego, you see, the ego is a perfect liar. Just like the perfect spirit, the Holy Spirit of Christ is perfect. The ego is a perfect liar. But once you become true to yourself, get off the booze, the steroids, the drugs, the women, stop looking for approval from women, and stop looking for affirmation, and stop doubting yourself. Because what's happened is the mind is an imitator, and it can imitate. This is how people learn. You are shown, you are trained, and you have a trainer, a guide, no matter what it is, whatever you want to learn, and they train you, and you imitate what you learned. Well, the mind, your mind, can imitate a you that ain't real. None of it is real. It's all illusion. It has no effect. It has never had an effect, but you believe it does, because it's wired into your feelings, and your feelings are in your mind along with the words, you see, and the words aren't. The more you, when you undertake this journey that I'm advising you to do by sitting still in prayer, and you're going to be looking at this stuff all the time, and sooner or later you're going to come to the conclusion that the whole thing is it's a lie. It's just it's a realm of lies. And what you're going to do through meditating properly is you're going to stand apart. You're not going to try to mess with it. You don't need to change it. It's fine. You just need to get out of it and back into you need to find the power of being. But you can't do that if you're taking any pills. I don't care what it is. You have to find purity. You have to clean up. Your system needs to be cleaned out of every stinking synthetic drug that they have that they got you on, or you go medicate yourself with your alcohol. I mean, some people, right, they live such a pathetic existence. I see these men, right, 45, 50 years old, right? They look like they're 6 months pregnant. Their faces, they got red noses and red all around their face, because on the week they're weekend warriors, you know, or at night they go home. The only thing they got to look forward to in life is escape. They go to work, the first thing they do when they get home is crack a beer or take a shot, I mean, this is pathetic. That's all you got to look forward to in your life. And covering up what you're hiding from, covering up with the food. You gorge yourself on garbage and put yourself to sleep. This is what the majority of the population does, because this is what they learned from the misguided guides of culture in this system. System's going to collapse. It's inevitable. Because it's built on lies. The only way, it can be reformed. But that means the people have to want to come clean and live an honest life. And the simple life. The simple life. Of peace. See, to the ego, peace is inconceivable to the ego. It hates it. Because even though the ego will tell you it wants peace, it goes in every direction but the right direction to find it. Because it's a perfect liar. It's your mother. See, our mothers, God bless their little souls, what they don't want to do, if there's a husband that's strong, well, let's just say a strong husband isn't a bully, so the husband I'm talking about most is usually, but women, even if women aren't going to like you if you're honest and strong and brave. They're not going to like you if you're a coward. They're not going to like you anyway, no matter what you do. So you have to make a decision. Is it, I'm going to be brave or an appeaser? So what they did to the kids, this is what they do to the children. If dad's a drunk or a bully, or he doesn't necessarily have to be either. He could just be dad, and he knows he has dad, if he's in line with God's will, has the corrective love that the wife and the children need. He doesn't have to really say much. He leads by example. You can tell the tree by its fruit. But you see, this makes mommy feel inadequate. And naughty girls will be naughty girls. So what they're going to try to do is, when dad's at work, come on now, people. We all know this goes on. This is no mystery. No one's talking about this stuff but yours truly. And I'm going to have to start showing these videos to people I know, because I do this anyways. I talk to, wherever I go, I say this stuff to the guys I meet. They know it's true, and they don't argue with me. And they input. They have their own input, which is fine, and it's usually right too. But what mother does to keep the correction from, she needs correction, divine correction. So she puts a buffer. She makes a buffer in the little kitties' heads to buffer dad's corrective love. She'll spoil the children behind his back and tell him it's okay to do stuff that's not okay. And she'll degrade the husband while he's not around to the children. Your father did this. Your father did that. Dad is this. Right? This is what they do. But it doesn't matter, because once you pledge allegiance to the inner perfection, it doesn't matter what they do. Because you're just going to stand as correction without even saying a word. Because words, to me, as the further I get on this journey, the more I realize that words just don't cut it. It's, if you really want to know your inner reality and how it is, you got to go to your body, in here, right in here. You got to learn how to feel it in your abdominals, and you need to learn how to use, this is where your core, it's called the core of all your strength is. And you, instead of allowing all that those feelings to energize your mind into a matrix of lies and excuses and sensual stuff, you keep it down. You learn how to use it. It becomes love, healing, warmth, and strength. It's like you divert it. You divert that would-be energy that was going to fuel a realm of emotional stuff. Instead, it stays down, and you can use it becomes useful instead of useless. Vanity. Useless vanity. Now, let's see. What we're gonna do here is, I brought my chair today, my fishing rod. It's a good spot, nice, quiet. Anyone that watches this video, what you're trying to accomplish here is you're out of it. You're out of your body, and you're out of your joined you pledged allegiance to the light. And so the principle, you'll see, the principle is reality, because God is reality. It couldn't be any other thing than reality. This is why everybody hides from reality in whatever they do. I watch people pollute themselves on all kinds of stuff to escape from escaping the truth. You can't live a depraved life and vanity and pump yourself up on lies once the Holy Spirit takes over. You see that emotion is weakness, not strength. Emotion in the head. You need to speak your mind. You got something you need to say, you need to say it. But you'll see that you don't need to. The reason why you conformed is because you thought you had to fight these people by their rules. But their rules, if you try to fight the rule makers with their own rules, you're going to lose. So you need to find rules from a source that is not of the world. And it's in there, and it shows you that you don't have to fight them. You just have to learn how to hold your ground. see, whatever you appease is going to be your master. If the calling, the pills call to you, and, you know, the alcohol, or your friends that aren't friends, that your friends in confirmation, they call to you to come out and join them in debauchery, excess sensual pleasure, and God only knows what. And you appease this. They own you. If you know, you have to eat to live. But if you can't say no to food that's no good for you, you're gonna fall prey to whatever your fear is going to. Whatever you are afraid of owns you. This is why you can't be. This is why you can't appease, capitulate to the bully. And the ego is a bully. It's a real bully. It screams. You can't destroy the ego. But you can learn how to grab a hold of it and use it. And it doesn't like it. Big deal. It lies. It tells you you need to fight when you don't. It believes weakness is strength. It believes judgment is strength in labeling people and degrading people. So what it wants to do is it wants to elevate its stature by degrading others. This is fascism, is what it is. It's a form of fascism. Inner fascism by a bully that doesn't even exist. It doesn't exist. It's illusion. You can't go to church, and they're not going to teach you this at church. You see, you can't get the truth from any of these people. Any of them. Any politician. Anybody that wants something from this system to bolster their self-image. If they want a car, you can get this stuff through hard work. But you can't make an idol out of it. It's a necessary evil. It's a teddy bear. I mean, this is what idols are. See, the ego can't survive without a ground. It make you very uncomfortable. So this is why you have to find an honest activity, endeavor to channel your energies into. Like this, you see. Or anything, you go out in nature and you go out, you breathe the fresh air and sunshine, go for a walk, get off the couch, get out of the bed. You have to have a job. See, capitalism works when you have God. And everything comes in everything is in the right order. You have God, Christ, the Father, the Heavenly Father shows you through the Holy Spirit, through the perfect, because the Holy Spirit's perfect, sinless, and this perfect Spirit is in my mind right now. It's watching. It watches all my thoughts. Nothing can get by it. On duty, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Even when I'm resting, I know it's there. I don't sleep much. Don't need it. I relax. And I do sleep. Couple of 3 hours here, couple 3 hours there. Don't listen to the so-called experts, how much sleep you need. Because I work 2 shifts, a couple times, 1 or 2 times a week, double shifts, 16, 15 hours a day. And before I even go to work, I do stuff. And then when I come home from work, I do stuff. Things need to get done. So I do them. And I fuel jets for a living. I lift things up and I put them down. I move them around. Physical work. Physical, very physical work. Nothing compares to working around jets. Just to break up the thing of the continuity of this video a little bit with something different. You know, when you see people with their fast cars driving around, and you know, and their motorcycles and all this stuff, but when you see a jet, when you're out side by side with a jet and you watch jets, big jets go back and forth all day long, and you're fueling them, you see with this stuff is nothing can compare to the power of a jet engine. And there's a lot of, from fueling jets, I've learned a lot. And it all, there's a lot to fueling people and fueling jets. There's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of, you know, if you put contaminated fuel in a jet, it's going to crash and burn. Put contaminated fuel in a person, it's going to crash and burn. A jet needs 2 wings to fly. Our government needs a left wing and a right wing. Can't fly without one of both. And right now, you got 1 wing, and it's spiraling to the ground and about to crash and burn. I'm going to talk about that in another video. I think I'll do it right after this. It's all about honesty. And uncovering your truth. Going back and uncovering it. By sitting still, and light's gonna trickle in with the new message from God, divine message. It's going to rearrange and put everything in order. It's going to take you're going to go through a process. You're going to cast out everything that's no good, and what's left over that's still good, God's going to rearrange it and put it in an order. You don't have to do it. You're just going to see it. You're going to have insights. You're going to act upon them. You're going to see. You're going to be given a direction. And you could be in your bed sleeping, and you're going to see that God's calling you to get up and do something. God's telling you, go write this down. Get up and write this down so you don't forget tomorrow. God's going to put the breadcrumbs out there for you to follow. But what you're looking for, ultimately, is you're looking to live in faith. You don't want to hold on to anything. You're not going to lose it, no matter how lofty the message is. You have to let it go, because new stuff's going to come in, and it's all going to circulate. Just like God does everything perfectly. Everything in this universe is circular, if you haven't noticed. There's God likes round things. So, you can see how when the solar system was formed, this is the same thing. You got like a solar system in there, right? And it was chaos. But slowly but surely, the Son of God, slowly but surely all this stuff circulated around the sun and slowly formed into planets. And a certain order was developed. And that order allowed one planet to separate itself from all the others. And then God shaped it and seeded it. So you and I can live here, and all the other creatures that have come and gone. Now, in your mind, when you become under the guidance of your truth, this stuff's you're gonna go through purification process. Slow but sure. Incremental. And then all your thoughts. It's going to be you need to write this stuff down. Every child of God has writings. You need to have your own writings, because those writings are you. These writings is going to be the new you that's going to metamorphose. The butterfly is going to emerge out of the cocoon of meditation, of prayer, and then your writings are going to be your new purpose that God created you for. It's really simple, because it's not that, it has to happen this way because you rebelled for good reason. If you rebelled, because I did, I'm a rebel and I'm still rebel. I'll never conform to these creeps that are these creep con artists, perverts, idol worshippers, the godless state. I have to live in it, but I'm not part of it. I'll never appeased anyone in my life. One time, when I was in the Marines, I was out drinking in a club, and I had a little altercation with a guy, another Marine, black Marine, and I was with one other guy, and I was getting into a little match with him in the club, Well, the bartender, the gunny, he's a gunnery sergeant, broke it up, told us to, knock it off. So we did. Just a little story, you might. Well, while I left the club, I assumed I was intoxicated with my friend. I assumed that this was all done and over with. It wasn't. 3 or 4, I think it was 3 big black guys came out of the darkness and encircled me. My friend wasn't tough enough. He wasn't a tough guy, really. I don't know why he was even in the Marines, but anyways, they encircled me, and they closed in on me, and they tried to bully me. They wanted me to apologize to their friend. And I told them, I'm not afraid of you. You know what I said to them? I told them to go screw themselves. But I didn't say it like that. This is in my days gone by. I don't swear much anymore. But then two of the guys grabbed me, held me by each arm. They were big and strong. I couldn't go nowhere anyways. And the other guy punched me in the face. And then they threw the other guy away, the guy that was with me. He couldn't. He wasn't even gonna do. He tried to help, but I seen him. They grabbed him, manhandled him, and threw him out of the way. But they held me, and the guy sucker punched me in the face. And just knocked me out for a minute or two. I woke up and they were gone. Now, if I had appeased the bully and said, oh, please don't hurt me, in that, they probably would have beat me up a lot worse for lack of respect. That's all. It's all about respect. They respected it that I said, go screw yourself. So they only hit me once. And that's all they did. Now, let's see. Now I want to talk about how good it is to have faith and live in the life of faith. Because when you live the life of faith, you're a spirit. You're a spirit that God originally made you to be. You're a spirit, a real spirit that doesn't have weakness. Your flesh is weak, but your spirit isn't. It's from God. It's light. It's pure light. Just like that light up there, up above, over here. It's just like that. It's part of it. God made us to worship Him. But the world has to do a number on you to get you to conform, to get you to abandon your innocence. They have to beat you up. Lie, beat you up, intimidate, pressure. And make you afraid of pain. They want you to be a death worshiper. See, there is no death. There's no death. Only God exists. And nothing real. Nothing can threaten me. If someone came up to me with a gun and said, give me your wallet, do this, do that, do this, do that, I wouldn't listen to him. I'd go, I'd try to kill them, is what I would do. I would try to disarm them. If they shot me in the head, fine. I'd go out like that. I've always fought people. Never let anyone bully me, ever. And that's why I live a good life. And you can too. But first of all, you got to realize that the so-called authorities, on the left mostly, don't have your best interests in mind. They want to make you into their pet. They want to inject you and they want to infect you and inject you. That's what they did. First of all, they concocted this virus, nothing thing, that everyone's so afraid of. Most people are dying of fear of it. Because they don't have enough common sense, because they're pathetic. That's why. They're pathetic and their minds are controlled. They don't even have their own thoughts. And everything they say, you can tell I listen to their conversations, they don't say anything. Empty rhetoric. They don't say anything. They concocted this thing in a Wuhan. All these people are being censored. They concocted this unnatural virus. It's not natural. It's artificially developed in a lab. And then they unleashed it on the public. And then they infected a lot of people with it. But then, none of this makes any sense. They infect you with a virus that is not natural. It's been altered. Synthetic is the word I'm looking for. Then they unleashed it, and now what they're doing is they want to inject you. They infected, and now they want to inject you with a synthetic so-called vaccine that's going to destroy your immunity, one injection at a time. This is what the ultimate goal is here, of the totalitarian, authoritarian, leftist, fascist, fascist pigs. What they're doing is, it doesn't make sense. They want to destroy your natural immunity by using synthetic viruses and synthetic concoctions that they make in a secret laboratory somewhere. And your natural immunity would overcome it if you ate the right foods and learned how to live like a human being, found humility. They want to turn you into animals. This is what they're going to do. They're going to inject you with so many of these injections that you have no more natural immunity left. Now they're going to come out with a virus. Now they're going to use it. The bully fascists and the totalitarian communists are going to use it. They're going to make it so you're at their mercy. They're going to tell you that if you don't play by their rules, they're going to set this thing in motion while they hide. And then it's going to come out and kill massive amounts of people. but it won't kill the ones that didn't get the injections. This is why they're so adamant about everyone getting injected, because they know it's just part of the process of breaking your immune system down. Look, 2 + 2 is 4. You can't trust the government. I don't care who's in it. Can't trust any government in any world, on any country, period. Because they're idol worshippers. They want to be worshipped. They want to look like gods. Through materialism or through propaganda. Can't fool me. I know what this is all about, because I read my Bible. And this is nothing new. It's just more, it's a higher tech. It's the technology that's going to, the technology is going to destroy itself. It's going to destroy this world the way it is right now. Eventually this is all going down. Eventually. I know this isn't a positive message, but you know what? How can it be positive? What I'm showing you is there's a positive side that will make you immune to all their viruses, you'll have a natural immunity through honesty. By being honest with yourself, you'll have a natural immunity to all their viruses, all their lies, all their drugs. You won't want nothing. When you forgive everybody for everything, and you realize that all there is the present moment, and it's infinity, and you're part of it. You're part of the light, the everlasting light of truth. You're part of that. God wants you to know this. He wants you to discover it on your own. No one can give it to you. You can't go to church. These guys are liars. They want stuff. They want prestige. They want approval. They want positive affirmation. They want money. And they'll say anything to get you to not believe in yourself. They're the worst ones. They're worse than anything the Democrats could ever come up with, because they're supposed to be men of God. The man of the cloth is a hypocrite. See, this is what this is all about. It's hype. This is it. Sums it up perfectly. It's hype, hypnosis. This stuff, though, these people are so awful. It's hype, hypnosis, hypocrisy, and hypodermic needles. That's what it is. Look at this stuff, right? They want to inject you. Everything's hype. They want to hype you up. All right, I don't want to go on too much longer, right? I just want to say, right, I watched some YouTube videos from here to there. And people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's an idiot. I used to like the guy, but he's a self-proclaimed God. He's a jerk. And he was one that he used to pump himself up. He was pumped up on his own vanity and polluted. And he pumped himself up on steroids. And he talks a good line. I listened to he talks about motivation and all this stuff, right? But I don't want to be like him. He cheated on his wife. He's a hypocrite. He got where he is by being an appeaser. He wanted the love of the world, the lust, and it's a lie. So here comes some dogs. Hey, you guys, what are you doing? Huh? Look at them. They ran away. So, he's a hypocrite. Used to come out as a Republican, but he's a phony. Phony baloney. You know, I mean, anyone can be redeemed. Needs to come clean. I look at these guys on YouTube, these guys that do the steroids, they pump themselves up on steroids. They're all dying now. All so they can get the adoration. It's so, you know, they wanted love so much. They wanted to be approved of. And somebody had to do a number on these guys. They got PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Somebody did a number on them and caused them to rebel and then conform. They conformed. I didn't conform. I stayed the rebel. I don't want nothing from this system, but I have to live in it. If I could, I'd go live in the woods somewhere, build a place for myself, have a garden, help my neighbors, live that kind of life in nature. But as for right now, I'm doing okay. But it doesn't matter where I live, actually. Like Jesus said, he had nowhere to lay his head. He had nowhere to call home, but yet he was already home. He was home in heaven, in paradise. He tried to make people see the light while he was here. He managed to do a pretty good job. Right now, though, we got the godless state destroying our country from within. I don't know how far they'll get, but they're doing a masterful job at mockery. This is what the ego is. It imitate their egos. That's what they are. They're evil spirits. The girlfriends and boyfriends. There's no men. Men don't behave like these Democrat men. A real man doesn't behave like that. They're selfish, and they want the idols, and they want the big house in the car, and they're disgusting. And God only knows what they do in their private time. It's gotta be complicated. Gotta be. They probably sit around with each other and talk about how great they are. And how they lie to the people and screw the people and get away with it. They laugh all the way to the bank, but they're still, money can't buy love. It's worthless. You can't take it with you. This is what I'm trying to show people, that you need to get clean up, and see the real truth about system. And you'll find different set of rules to live by. Code of conduct that leads to leads to humility. And humility is what a human being is human. Makes a human being human. And And see, what the left wants to do is turn in the vanity and the drugs, and they want to turn us into pets. They want to weaken your mind so you can't think for yourself. And they want to make you guilty by association. Because you see, if you're taking their drugs, if you're on their drugs, any of their meds, or you're drinking their alcohol, they know what you do now. They know their surveillance. They know what every move we make. They know if you're popping pills, where you're getting them from. They know your doctors. They know your lawyer. They know you have a lawyer if you're in trouble all the time. They know all your information. So they want to, what they want to do is, if you're an honest person, they're going to try to find a crack in your armor where they can get in, where evil can get in, and so they can go, you're a hypocrite because you don't do what you say that you do. They're gonna know, like, you're on pills, or they know if you're a drunk, or if you're overeat. They know you can't hide it. You wear, like, if you overeat, if you eat too much and you're addicted to food, you can't hide that. You're fat. And then, see, all this stuff has side effects. You can't lie to yourself. Lying to yourself has side effects. When you lie to yourself, you're going to need drugs. You're going to need to hide the fact that you're lying to yourself. See, the light, this video, the light, your inner light is going to scare the hell out of you. You're still going to have an ego, but it will have no power. It's going to be, it's like it's imprisoned in a jail, and it's crying out to you because it wants to take over you again. It's always going to be there. Now you got your whole life. Now you're in this position to make choices where you weren't before. You're a slave. You're a conformer, an appeaser, addicted to whatever. You could be addicted to anything. Addicted to sex, gambling, porn, alcohol, marijuana, psychotropic drugs, approval, depression. You could be depressed. Depression is anger because you're not living up to your potential, and the ego's making you sit back down and just wallow in misery and darkness. You can break free of this, but you can't do it with a struggle. You have to do it by walking in the light. You have to pull your shades up, little at a time, incrementally. Start doing the unthinkable. Go for a walk in the sun. Start eating an apple. You have to start small, folks, and then slowly. You need to become natural. Natural human being the way God created you to be. See, I live in so much peace. And I bring peace to the people I work with because I can see through. I can see through. I know how to pull up the goodness in people. If I can get my hands on them. No, I'm just kidding. I don't need to get my hands on them. But I hug people. But I can look into their eyes and find their strength. because I know it's in there. First of all, we got to get Mummy Incorporated out of the way. And that's all for today. I covered everything. I don't know if they'll, I don't know if this video will make it out. I mean, no one's watching it anyways. I don't know how to get it. I think I'm going to have to just get it out there personally, like, show people my videos, in person. Watch it, and then maybe, because it's hard to share a video like this, because you know that the people around you aren't going to be able to handle it. You have to take your own, this is how, you can't look for redemption from, you can't get it from outside. This is a makeover from within. Then it works from the inside out. Then everything else, you don't try to make things happen. You don't have to. God's going to move the chess pieces around. You have to learn to let go and live in faith. That's all I'm going to say for this video. I'll do another one in a couple days. So now I'll just go with this. Is meditation, not medication. No, meditation, all it is you're building up power of concentration that allows you to stay in the present moment and find reality. This is a big thing. You're finding God. It's a fixed space that allows you to live to the fullest. But you have to see that how words are just a nothing. You need them. The politicians and the people the eggheads, here I go again, right? The eggheads are the ones that need the words, so they can mislead people. There are a lot of intellectuals that are honest, but they don't want to give up their comfort and security to come out and speak like they should. But anyways, I'm gonna go. What you're looking for is faith in the truth. You'll find it. This is a cool spot. It's getting dark now. All kinds of stuff jumping around out there in the swamp. There's a swamp right here. Show you. Then got this. That over there is Pine Island. People go camping there. So, I'm sure you got the gist of it now. I'm going to go. God bless you. Make sure your meditation is done correctly by remaining alert, aware. You're going to find awareness is what you're going to do. You're going to find your being in your awareness, in the sacredness of awareness. It's going to save you. Because that's how you originally were, before anything was added to you. You were aware. And they want to make you unaware. They want to destroy your immunity and your intelligence. That's all. I'm going. God bless you. Sit still and face what you're afraid to look at it. Don't be afraid of the ego. It's nothing to fear. And it's powerful. It has to be. But you just don't know how to grab a hold of it. You have to, you can't, no one can teach you this. This is why you have to do your spiritual makeover from the inside out. And with that, I'm going to go. I'll do another video in a couple days for the 1 or 2 people that may watch this. See if you can find the, see if you can find a few people to work on. I'm no better than you are. If you listen to this message one time, you'll probably be changed for life anyways, because you'll know that there's another way than the wicked ways of the world. And you're not going to hear this message from your church guy. He's going to read you scripture. He's going to keep it light. So he doesn't want to scare away. The devil can go. He doesn't want to make it uncomfortable for the devil in church. How weak is that? All right, I gotta go. Keep it real.